I wanted to talk about one of the photos that I found online, a photo of Mike Kepper. I pulled off Chrome Ball Incident, and I'm not sure who took the photo. It's a photo of Mike Kepper doing a layback on the bank's wall, that was actually one of the higher parts of the wall, and it's like maybe almost 4 feet tall, and he's doing a layback grind on it. It must be an ollie layback grind, but dude, that thing is high. I just think this is one of the raddest photos I've ever seen at the banks, and if you're out there, Mike, you're one of my favorite skaters, bro. So sick. Shut Skates story number 3. This last Shut story I have to tell today is the pinnacle moment of Shut Skates. Shortly after this moment in time, Shut totally shut down because their riders were just so good. To be held in New York, they had to just expand, and they all blew up and went to Cali. Eventually, very shortly after this day. I'm just telling you what I saw, stuff that I witnessed with my bare eyes and my soul. So we're at a Brooklyn Banks contest, and it's one of the last Banks contests of the Shut era. Shut was absolutely the rulers of New York City at the time. It was the day they unleashed Sean Sheffey. Rodney and Bruno came to the Banks with the Shut team. The Shut team is in full force. There's more riders than this. I'm just gonna drop some names that were on the team. Mike Kepper, Felix Aguirres, Coco Santiago, Jeremy Henderson, Derek Rinaldi, Barker Barrett, Dune, Billy Waldman, and more. It was in full swing. It's a Banks contest, and they come out, they're like, you ain't seen nothing yet. They unleashed Sean Sheffey to the Banks. He's a beast of a dude, annihilating the Banks, just like with so much power, just like big, light-skinned, huge black dude with a hair that's just like, and he skates like, he was an animal, just eating the Banks for breakfast. There were hundreds of skaters out there. If anyone was there, please make a comment. Let me know that you were there, you saw this. He was skating faster, bigger, more powerful than any skater at the Banks. He was the ruler. And Bruno, the whole time that Sean was skating, Bruno and Rodney are standing on top of the Banks, and they're just like watching him. They're just like, Shut Skates are the rulers, and they were. So Sean Sheffey, he was just ollieing over every part of the wall, like just blasting. He would come down the Banks, and like as he came down the Banks, he would try to ollie over one of the planners. The legendary thing that he did at that time was he Sheffey popped. If I'm not mistaken, he invented this trick. It's a no comply off of nothing. He just pops it, and he just pops his tail and like launches his board and catches it in there. He does a no comply ollie. He doesn't even hit a curve. He just cracks his tail, going a million miles an hour. Cracks his tail and jumps up. He Sheffey popped the big part of the wall during his run, and even in practice he was doing it, and everyone was just like, God damn, this guy is insane. Basically, that day was just like, ugh, God damn, no one was gonna be that good for a long time. It was just like, holy, he just killed it. Basically, Shut Skates put the East Coast on the map as a legitimate force in street skating. They like bumped up the bar. Shut Skates bumped up the bar for Cali. Cali was like, oh man, we need to get these guys over here. We need some of that juice. So yeah, Rodney, I hope I told these stories to your standard. Just giving it up. I'm just trying to let people know a little bit about New York skateboard history and what went down. So Bruno, if you're out there, I hope I've told these stories semi-accurately. Did I miss anything? Oh, Sean Sheffey. I just want to try to paint a little more of a picture of how much power this guy had. Maybe in the winter time after that was probably in summer or fall when they unleashed Sheffey. We're now at a contest at some barn, maybe in Jersey or Pennsylvania. We're in this, like, it felt like we're in this big barn, and they had a huge quarter pipe in there. It was super small. I don't know how they fit all these skaters in here, but there's like a contest. It's just like skaters coming in every direction. And like during the warm up, it was just an insane session. I don't know how any skating was getting done, but like there was this huge quarter pipe. It was at least 7 feet, maybe 8 feet for indoors. It's pretty big. So anyway, Sheffey comes dropping in the middle of the freaking mayhem. He comes dropping into the freaking middle of the street course, and there's like a bench. The bench is like in the middle of the street course, and Sheffey drops in on the quarter pipe and goes to ollie lip slide, backside lip slide the bench. Nothing in my my screen shows the distance, but he was ollieing at least a whole bench length away before he even got to the bench that he was landing on. Just like mocking, blasting, like full force, hair like, just like, yeah, ollie, and like backside lip slides the thing, full attack mode. There's a lot of old school dudes who know the power that Sheffey brought, and that Sheffey was supported by Shut. They knew, they saw, they brought him to the world. So there it is, Shut Skates. I also want to mention that one of the earlier parts I was mentioning that, you know, Shut probably influenced Mark Gonzalez, but it actually goes vice versa. He was directly influencing the Shut team. Jeremy Henderson was like the godfather Shut rider, and he was chilling. Gons was chilling out with Jeremy, and Gons, if there's any skater you can call skate wizard, it's Mark Gonzalez. So the skate wizard was hanging out with one of the Shut riders, sharing that energy and sharing that influence with the team. And I'm sure God skated with some of those Shut riders back in that day. So the Shut team was homies with the skate wizard of the world, Mark Gonzalez. So your homies teach you how to skate. And if Gons is in the house, you're probably gonna learn to be one of the best in the world too. So, or do some radical things as well. So you gotta give it up to Gons. I'm not saying, oh yeah, the Shut riders influence Gons. Well, Gons influence Shut influence Gons. We all influence each other. Another thing I want to mention about Shut Skates, they were a team of riders. It wasn't like you'd see one Shut rider and be like, yeah, that guy rides for Shut. It was like, there's the Shut team, like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 deep, you know? So it was just like, the whole place was like getting rushed by Shut dudes, running it, ripping, shredding, blowing minds. And yeah, man, they were no joke. They were radical.